Picture this. You pull into a gas station. You see three buttons, 87, 89, and 93. The prices go up with the numbers, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice whispers, higher is better, right? More octane means more power. So, maybe you reach for the premium, thinking you are giving your car a treat. Here's the surprising truth. You probably just wasted your money. Because octane does not mean what most people think it means. It is not a measure of power. It is not a measure of quality. And for most cars, premium fuel does absolutely nothing extra. Today we are uncovering what octane really is, why it matters for some engines and not others, and the strange reason it is named after a molecule you have never heard of. Let's start with the basics. Gasoline isn't a single substance. It's a cocktail. A blend of hundreds of different hydrocarbons all mixed together. When you compress gasoline vapor inside an engine and ignite it with a spark plug, it explodes. That explosion pushes the piston down, and that's what moves your car. Simple enough. But here's the problem. Sometimes gasoline doesn't wait for the spark. If the fuel-air mixture gets compressed too much, it can ignite on its own, too early, before the spark plug fires. This is called engine knock. You might hear it as a pinging or rattling sound under hard acceleration. It's not just annoying. Repeated knocking can damage pistons, bend rods, and destroy an engine over time. This is where octane comes in. Octane isn't about power, it's about resistance. Specifically, resistance to premature ignition. The higher the octane number, the harder it is for the fuel to ignite under pressure alone. That's it. High octane fuel doesn't explode bigger. It just waits longer. So, why is it called octane? Here is where the chemistry gets interesting. Back in the early 1900s, engineers needed a way to measure a fuel's resistance to knock. They created a scale using two reference chemicals. One was a molecule called isooctane, a hydrocarbon with 8 carbon atoms arranged in a specific shape. Isooctane was extremely resistant to knocking. They gave it a score of 100. The other reference was N-heptane, a molecule that knocked very easily. They gave it a score of 0. If a fuel behaved like pure isooctane, it received a rating of 100. If it behaved like a mix that was 87% isooctane and 13% heptane, it received a rating of 87. That is why your regular gas is labeled 87. It resists knock as well as a blend that is 87% isooctane. The name stuck, even though modern gasoline contains hundreds of different compounds, not just octane. Now here's the question everyone asks. Should I use premium fuel? The answer depends entirely on your engine. High-performance engines and turbocharged engines compress the fuel-air mixture more than regular engines do. That extra compression creates more power, but it also increases the risk of knock. These engines need high-octane fuel to prevent that premature ignition. If your car manual says premium is required, you should use it. But here's what surprises most people. If your car is designed for regular 87 octane, putting in 93 octane does almost nothing. Your engine is not compressing the fuel hard enough to cause knock in the first place. You are paying extra for resistance you do not need. It is like buying a fireproof safe to store your socks. Modern cars have made this even more complicated. Most engines today have knock sensors, tiny microphones that listen for that pinging sound. If the sensor detects early ignition, the car's computer automatically adjusts the timing, pulling back the spark to prevent damage. This means many cars labeled premium recommended can technically run on regular. They will just produce slightly less power because the computer is playing it safe. You will not destroy anything. you will just lose a few horsepower. There's one more myth worth addressing. Some people believe high-octane fuel burns cleaner or contains special additives that protect the engine. In reality, all grades of gasoline at major stations contain the same detergent additives. The EPA requires it. Premium isn't purer, it isn't cleaner. It's just more resistant to compression ignition. So the next time you're standing at the pump, staring at those three choices, remember this. Octane is not a grade of quality. It's a measure of patience, how long the fuel can resist exploding under pressure. For most drivers, regular is not just fine, it's exactly what the engine was designed for. Save your money. Check your owner's manual, and don't let marketing make you pay extra for something your car can't even use. If this changed how you think about fuel, hit the like button and share it with someone who always buys premium just in case. Subscribe to Plain Sight for more hidden stories behind everyday things. Because sometimes the answers we need are waiting right there at the pump.